Hello, everybody. It's nice to see everybody. So my name is Laura Minkowski. I'm an international astrological life and relationship coach. I coach in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. I'm not an astrologer, but I know a lot about astrology, and that's why I give these talks. So today I'm going to talk about the full moon in Pisces. Um, So the full harvest moon in Pisces happened on the 10th of September. So that was 2 days ago. Even though it was 2 days ago, we can still feel the effects of this full moon. And it was a very powerful full moon. Also because it happened at the same time that Mercury retrograde started. So, it was kind of like a double like a double effect with the full moon in Pisces and Mercury retrograde. And Mercury retrograde happens 2 or 3 times a year. And during Mercury retrograde, Mercury is the planet of communication. So there can be instances of miscommunication, of machines not working, and travel plans changing, and they say that you shouldn't get married or sign very important contracts during Mercury retrograde. But again, I mean, these are suggestions. I mean, if you have to sign an important contract, you can do it, even though it's Mercury retrograde. And like I mentioned to the group, I have a book coming out in 2 weeks, and it comes out during Mercury retrograde. So I'm certainly not scared of Mercury retrograde, and I don't think that anybody should be scared of Mercury retrograde. It's a good time to reevaluate and reassess and realign with yourself and redefine things for yourself. So look at it like that. Don't be scared of it, and work with the energies of Mercury retrograde. Instead of looking at Mercury retrograde as your enemy, look at Mercury retrograde as your friend, and embrace embrace the energies that it brings. So this full moon is all about figuring out your work-life balance and limiting structures. So the universe sent us a dreamy full moon on the 10th of September, and it's dreamy because it's Pisces is a dreamy sign. So the full harvest moon in Pisces delivered dreamy vibes to us, to our doorstep. So don't be surprised if you find your mind wandering and imagining, what could be during this time, right? So, but that's not all your zodiac can expect from the full harvest moon in Pisces, which I'll talk about later in the presentation. So this particular full moon's name comes from a mix of Native American, colonial American, and European sources. The full harvest moon got its name because it rises at around sunset for several nights in a row, allowing farmers to work later to finish harvest crops before the fall starts, according to the Old Farmer's Almanac. So that's why it's called the full harvest moon, and it is a very bright moon. It is a very bright moon, so it definitely helped the farmers. So the full harvest moon in Pisces is connected to Neptune, and Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces. So it gives it a dreamy fantasy vibe. So expect your mind to wander over the next few days, thinking about a whole slew of things you could be doing differently. Like, what if you took singing lessons and became the next Ariana Grande? That's just one thing that your mind can think about. So it's not all about spacing out, though. You'll dream big in all areas of your life, including your career. Once you've nailed down your ideal goal, that's where practicality comes in. What's your 5-year plan to work, and how can you get there, right? Because Pisces can be very dreamy And Pisces is not the most practical, down-to-earth sign. So it's good when you have your dreams and ambitions and your visions to actually do something practical, to make them real. So your love life will be under the dreaming microscope too. What needs to change to give you that blissed out, amazing feeling with your significant other that you're falling short of now? And if you're currently single, what kind of person would you like to be with? So these are all good things to think about now in this full moon in Pisces. Amidst all the daydreaming, you'll find yourself being even more compassionate than usual. That's another trait of Pisces. Pisces is very compassionate. So think of the full harvest moon as the planning period for your year and beyond. Like, you have to dream big before you can actually pursue the dreams. You'll figure out what you really want in life, from your career to your relationship, and then you actually take steps to make it happen. That could be as simple as looking up Airbnbs for your next romantic getaway, or as big as locking down an interview for your dream job. The sky is the limit here. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac and is therefore said to hold the lessons of all the other signs inside of it. A Pisces feels physically connected to everyone and everything. And so full moon in Pisces can be super sensitive, can be a super sensitive emotional time. So if you felt like crying the last few days, or if you felt very emotional, that's totally normal under a full moon in Pisces. It's one of the most emotional full moons there is. The full moon in Pisces and the full moon in Cancer, all the the full moons in water signs, and Scorpio as well. So the full moons in water signs are very emotional. So it's super sensitive. So it's a super sensitive emotional time, and a time to listen to your intuition as well. So remember, the full moon illuminates. What is being illuminated for you right now? Where is your soul? What are you dreaming about? Set aside time this week to reflect on where you are right now and where you want to be. Try writing down your dream as soon as you wake up for the next few days. You may be surprised at the themes or patterns you discover. Yeah, now is a good time to pay attention to your dreams. What are you dreaming? And write those dreams down. So this harvest moon is 17 degrees and 41 minutes of Pisces, with Neptune a few seats over at 24 degrees. Across from the rest of the others, far larger luminary, the Sun at the same degrees in Virgo. Then we have Venus, not quite conjunct, but certainly part of the story. As in classical astrology, Venus is considered under the Sun's beams. Right now it is waning. Come October, though, it will conjunct with the Sun in Libra for a very special conjunction that has not happened for 150 years. For now, though, Venus is still in Virgo, and there are a few ways this can manifest. Venus, planet of attraction, desire, and our values in Virgo, asks you to be more discerning about what you value in your career path, as well as how you are valued in your job. Additionally, we can sometimes be too pragmatic during that time and find ourselves restricting some of the Venus gifts: fun, beauty, and love. Neptune, on the other hand, is hanging out with the moon and offers a very different message. It is that little voice in the back of your mind that asks, is it really that important that you send that email right now? Do you actually need to do the laundry and tidy the kitchen? The divine cosmos are just waiting for you to be one with them. Are you sure you want to keep them waiting? The full moon's a time to practice balance and to weigh your choices with extra thoughtfulness. Finding balance in the opposites is not always easy or straightforward, but the Pisces full moon wants you to find wholeness with humanity and with everything around you. However, many full moons are about balancing the ego-centered, socially accepted energy, which is often more action-oriented, with the more raw emotional energy of the moon. In the case of the Virgo-Pisces axis service, we are balancing the everyday work of living with the spiritual work of finding meaning in one's life. So when is Neptune opposition in 2022? A week after the Pisces full harvest moon, we will see this year's Neptune opposition, when the Sun is opposite Neptune. Because Neptune is in Pisces and has been since 2011, the Neptune opposition has been happening in August or September each year during Virgo season. If you keep a regular diary, I recommend going through old entries from around this time. Chances are you'll find at least one day when things were mixed up, to say the least, if not a little chaotic. When Neptune comes to a planet, it can be confusing and enlightening at the same time. Neptune can make us feel lost and confused, just as Odysseus so famously was. However, if we allow ourselves to be lost, we may in fact find ourselves in a state of wonder and inspiration, just as Odysseus became, and have unique experiences we wouldn't otherwise encounter. Sometimes when you get lost, you find yourself, right? So that's where you find yourself on the journey back. So that's what this talks about. All that said, the Neptune opposition on Friday, September the 16th, which is also my sister's birthday, is not necessarily a time to make big plans or do anything special. Rather, it's a time to observe, especially when you are thrown off course or things don't go as planned. Now, Neptune trying to give you some insight. Will you listen? So now I'm going to talk about how the different signs are going to be affected by the full moon in Pisces. So for Aries, with the Sun in Virgo, astrology followers are paying more attention to their health and how they provide service. The changes you make in your life may not seem all too meaningful right now. We can become demotivated if we undermine a single glass of water's power on our overall health. Under the full moon in Pisces, consider how you engage with faith. Do you openly trust that the steps you take today will lead to a better tomorrow? For Taurus, the Sun and Venus in Virgo alert you to your innate desire to express yourself. Virgo is a mutable earth sign known for its aims toward perfectionism. Under the full moon in Pisces, you are reminded not to expect perfection from yourself. If you believe it will be helpful, take time to journal what perfection looks like to you. Be sure to humanize the people surrounding your ideal vision. Gemini, for your outward reputation to thrive, you must remember to tend to your inner needs. The Sun and Venus in Virgo are inspirations to spend time at home. As mundane as this may sound, Virgo's energy asks us to consider what needs to be picked up and disregarded. This full moon is a lesson on adapting to change. Clear your space to make room for what's new. You build your character by taking time to take care of your basic needs. Cancer. Your high self-esteem is contingent on recognizing your greatness. During this full moon in Pisces, celebrate how far you have come. Your experiences and interests have led you towards a wealth of knowledge. What have you learned during your time on Earth? Journaling your strengths is a great way to appreciate yourself and understand your values. Take time to reflect on how your strengths serve you. Is it possible you're holding on to defense mechanisms? Leo. When it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, the natural response is to feel tired. Exhaustion may hint that you need to take a break from taxing relationships. Take time to journal and reflect on where you are giving out your energy. Identifying the streams of your life force can help you recognize how to manage your time. Flow charts, bullet points, and paragraphs are all fair ways to develop clarity. Once you have a clear image for what's on your mind, you can assess your values and figure out what to release. Virgo. The need to be in relationships is innate to humanity. When we share in relationships with others, we find that wealth and abundance surround us. Are you being mindful of giving and receiving in your relationships? Take time to reflect on your connections of all kinds, not just romantic, and consider their mutuality or lack of it. Sometimes the best lessons are gained from observing your friends. Pay attention and manage your emotions. Libra. When work calls, ensure that you feel grounded enough to fulfill your duties. Libra, checking in with yourself beyond a glance is in the mirror is mandatory. Your self-care routine can drastically benefit if you take time for meditation, exercise, or rest. Bringing awareness to your subconscious needs can be a part of your daily routine. A simple 10 minutes of reflection can help you let go of baggage. Scorpio. The Sun in Virgo marks a time for you to expand your network. Those around you will notice a continued willingness to put yourself out there. Maintaining optimism even during trying times is an undeniably attractive trait. The full moon in Pisces is a great time to check in with yourself. Are you allowing yourself enough time for rest? How do you nourish your needs without judgment? Discovering the answers to those questions is how you maintain compassion for yourself. Sagittarius. Luckily for you, there's a lot ahead of you on the career front if you're willing to do the work. Your career is not limited to the job you have. It includes your life goals, your qualifications, and your network. This moon may call for you to push past the desire to stay in your bed. Excuse me. Walk towards the unknown and put yourself out there. Are you willing to step outside your comfort zone? Capricorn. Your knowledge and expertise are coming in clutch during the full moon in Pisces. During the beginning of this lunar cycle, it's good to challenge yourself to accept new growth, specifically as it pertains to expanding your horizons. You may have done that by watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, or reading books. Let the information you collected inform and motivate your growth. Journaling about what you've found over the past month can help you appreciate yourself. Aquarius. At the beginning of this lunar cycle, it's good to assess your priorities. That is not to suggest that you are doing something wrong, but instead to remind you to stay on track. It's easy to lose steam and get off track when frustrations occur. Checking in with yourself and your community is a great way to identify how much energy and resources you have to give. You may want to feed an entire village, but do you have enough to nourish yourself? Pisces. Your relationships have a way of highlighting areas about yourself that may otherwise have gone unnoticed. Keep track of the subtle clues you pick up from lovers and friends and permit yourself to reflect on your growth. During this full moon, the stars prompt you to consider which parts of your personality hold you back from growth and connection. The key to letting love in begins with self-awareness and self-care. How do you keep love away from you when you're on the defense? So thank you. May this full moon in Pisces give you an extra impulse to go after your dreams and visions. I offer coaching sessions in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. You can email me if you want a session with me at lauracoaching@gmail.com. And my website is lauravininkoski.com, and the English website has just been revamped, and my Spanish website is up now, which I'm excited about. And then my Wake Up to Your True Potential YouTube series, the link is there. So please subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. As one of my videos got to 1,000 views today, so I'm happy about that. So thank you so much. I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna stop the recording now.